What's up guys, Sean16 here with another discussion of Here's What I'm Thinking, and today I'm thinking of talking about how underrated Tower Prep was. Now, if you don't know what Tower Prep is, Tower Prep was an early 2010s live-action Cartoon Network show. Now, firstly, I bet you're wondering, Cartoon Network had live-action TV shows? Well, yeah, they did. So, if you've been sleeping under a rock in the last, I'd say, 15 years, you know that around the late 2000s and the early 2010s, live-action shows were on Cartoon Network, all part of their program block called CN Real. I was never a fan of that tag name because I always kept thinking the slogan meant it's cartoons, but it's real, which is probably what they were trying to go for. So I just don't see the logic in all this. It just didn't make any sense. Like, Cartoon Network was trying to bring live action to a network that is supposed to be just for cartoons. Let me rephrase that. Cartoon Network tried bringing live action sitcoms and dramas to a network that is supposed to be showcasing cartoons and animation. Now, why did they do this? Well, simple. They wanted to compete with Disney Channel and Nickelodeon in terms of demographic and appeal, which I can only assume. And the only way to compete was to literally do what Disney and Nick are known for, which to me is like a desperation tactic to fit in, to be part of the crowd, or at the very least say we're different and unique, when you're really like everybody else, simply being a flat-out copycat. Now, I wouldn't say 100% they were trying to be like Nick and Disney. They had some original ideas, but they were following their formula and tactics of what they have on their respective channels. And because of that, because of the live action programming on Cartoon Network, viewers felt the network was losing their identity. And apart from the loss of identity, what also hurt Cartoon Network was that pretty much all of their live action shows sucked. Let me list some of these shows I can remember a bit, alright? Highly doubt any of you watching are gonna remember these shows because nobody really talks about them. But here we go. Out of Jimmy's Head. Sucked. The movie Reanimated was the Kickstarter to what would follow, and Out of Jimmy's Head is the continuation of that film, but as a TV series. The blend of live action and cartoons is an interesting concept and idea. The best example is the Who Framed Roger Rabbit movie, but more often than not, it can be fucked up easily, and Out of Jimmy's Head is a prime example. The animation was okay, I guess, but the acting was weirdly bad. And the comedy and humor was forced down your throat where you're choking on so much cringe. Enough said. The Other Siders sucked. Because yeah, a copycat of every ghost hunting show is so original. You can't tell me this shit was not scripted. But I guess the only original thing about this show is that they are kids who are past their bedtime. Destroy, Build, Destroy sucked. Because yeah, seeing something be built for pretty much the whole runtime of every episode to only destroy it in a matter of seconds was so cool. Give me a fucking break. That's like watching paint dry on a wall, and when it dries, break out the fucking sledgehammers and dynamite and destroy that shit. It's garbage and a waste of time. Dude, what would happen? Sucked. A copycat of Mythbusters, if you ask me. The title sums up the mentality of Cartoon Network when it came to making these live action shows. And what would happen would not go over so well with the viewers, wouldn't it, Cartoon Network, huh? Level Up. Sucked. But you know what? I think I'm being a bit too hard on this show. After all, I'll admit, I did like this show for about a minute. The concept sounded good, but the execution was bad. The video game style animation they tried adding into this show looked like crap, and like Out of Jimmy's Head, forceful cringe jokes down the throat. Incredible Crew sucked. This show made me cringe more than laugh. The sketch comedy was forced here, and you can tell by the actors' faces as if they didn't want to be there. It's funny how the only two people you could recognize from this show is firstly Jeremy Shatta, who voices Finn in Adventure Time, and then Shameik Moore, who voices Miles Morales in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Then you had Unnatural History, which, looking at critics, it's a good teen drama show, but a waste of potential on Cartoon Network though. To be honest, I don't think this show sucks. I liked it for a minute, but I just found it boring after a few episodes in. These live action shows just didn't work, so much so that most of them couldn't last a whole year or make it to a second season. I was surprised a few of them got additional seasons, at least to a second or third season, but whatever, it is what it is. But there is one show I neglected to mention purposely because it is the topic of this video, and that is Tower Prep. I really thought this show was a true gem that obviously shouldn't have existed on Cartoon Network, because in the end they wasted what could have been potential. The plot of Tower Prep is about a teenager named Ian Archer who mysteriously wakes up in a boarding school called Tower Prep with no knowledge or memory of how he ended up there. Tower Prep is an exclusive private school from who knows where for people with special powers and abilities. Basically, it's like X-Men's Xavier Institute for Higher Learning, aka the X-Mansion, with a lot of mystery behind it. Ian, in this case of special abilities, can do martial arts, some parkour from what I remember, and has the ability to preflex, which is that he can see and react to things before they happen, which in other words, he had spider sense. This dude was basically Spider-Man without the web shooters, which is probably why he was my most favorite character of the show. Continuing the plot, Ian would meet and befriend 3 other students named Gabe, who looks like Velma from Scooby-Doo. And to be honest, that joke was from seeing a video thumbnail by Clementine's Reviews, so shout out to them. But Gabe has the ability of hypersuasion, talking to almost anyone into doing anything. CJ, Ian's crush, but she also has a crush on him. What a cycle. But CJ's powers is perception, being able to read people's body language, which is now oddly relevant to that Life is Strange 3 game main protagonist, who has the ability to see and sense people's auras. And then there's Suki Sato. I probably mispronounced that last name, but anyway, her power being mimicry or mimicry, I don't know. Being able to mimic voices and sounds from only hearing it once and can replicate accurate handwriting. Our 4 heroes band together to find a way to escape Tower Prep while uncovering the mysteries and secrets that lie within the school, like the Mystery Gang without a talking dog. Okay. I loved Tower Prep. I was like 13 going into 14 when this show aired. I loved the atmospheric dark tone of mystery, drama, and the action that gave me goosebumps every episode. The story was very engaging and making me think and anticipate what was going to happen next. Are they going to escape Tower Prep? Will there be a badass climactic fight between Ian and that jock that bullied him? What was his name? Cal? Yeah, Cal. Was it going to be a badass fight between Ian and Cal? Technically, they had a fight, but it was very anticlimactic. But then you had the ending. Where was the show going to go with that? The fact that in the end, Ian, Gabe, CJ, and Suki were on the run trying to escape Tower Prep. Sadly, we never got to find out because it was canceled. From what I've gathered, I'm guessing Cartoon Network didn't really see a lot of interest in Tower Prep, as they left it out of the lineup of new and returning shows that were coming into 2011. As well, from what I found on Wikipedia, there was something in the works about Tower Prep getting a second season back in 2012, but it was dropped by Cartoon Network. At that point, I would have said to take the show somewhere else, or at least put it on Adult Swim, similar to Samurai Jack Season 5. There was potential here, and Cartoon Network didn't want to build off that. They decided to settle on continuing and quote-unquote improving the legacy of seeing real shows for a few more years, but realized it was never going to work because the shows didn't appeal much to the audience and were poorly received by critics. They had a good thing going within Tower Prep, but they fucked it up. They done fucked up. It was a good live action show, and to leave it as a cliffhanger was just sad. The show was good to watch back then, and now, after so long, a decade since it started and ended, It should get the recognition it never got back then in today's media when reflecting on old shows that are considered underrated. I believe that's all I have to say about how underrated Tower Prep was. And if you enjoyed this video, smash that like button. Comment your thoughts on if you remember Tower Prep and what did you think of the show. We could discuss it in the comment section. Subscribe if you haven't for more content like this. And finally, look me up on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. And as always, I will see you next time.